switching sides. Now rotational. It's a nice day, so I'm at the park again today. I brought my cable with me so that I can do some more gym style exercises while still being at the park, and I'm not restricted to just kettlebell and steel mace stuff. That being said, I didn't bring my steel mace today. I'm going to focus mostly on kettlebell, calisthenics, and cable exercises. So starting off with single arm lat pull downs to chest presses. So I have the kettlebell attached to the cable, gonna sit on the floor, and so that the angle is such that it's a vertical pull down, and gonna go for 10, maybe more. Let's do 15. Personally, I think this cable attachment that I bought for about 60 Canadian dollars was, I guess, the best bang for the buck investment, because even though it doesn't come with weights, if you get creative, you can use things like stones, or even kettlebells, or water, or any number of things like that to use as weight. In any case, some cues for the pull down. So with the pull down, like in my previous videos I've mentioned leaning forward. Here when I lean forward, the kettlebell has a chance of touching the floor, so I'm not doing that. But one of the things that I am doing is just rotating my body slightly in the opposite direction of the hand that's pulling, to exaggerate the stretch of the lat. And I'm also starting my palms facing away, to then into a neutral grip as I pull it down. These little adjustments to your form can really exaggerate the stretch in the lats, giving it a much more complete look and development. After 15 reps of that, standing up and facing the opposite way and doing a chest press. Really focusing on getting a full stretch. After 10, switching sides. With chest presses, I pretty much focus on like my shoulder going back all the way, so that it exaggerates the stretch in the whole pec, and really taking some time to feel that stretch. Almost contracting the rear delt at the top of the motion to exaggerate that stretch in the chest. So yeah, I'm gonna superset these two for a bit. Probably gonna do like 5 sets and then on to something else. With the park available, it opens the doors to like supersetting quite a few different things. Like I could superset this with a run or something, which is kind of harder to do in the confines of a gym, unless you have access to a treadmill that's right beside you or whatever, but then you would need the cable to be located right next to it. In any case, we'll see what happens. So for the next set of exercises, well, it's not really a set of exercises. I'd say it's kind of a complex of sorts. So there's an exercise that I do sometimes where I'm holding a kettlebell or a weight in one hand and I'm shoulder pressing with the other. And so playing off of that concept, what if the resistance was above, in the sense something was pulling you up and you had to do the necessary compensation for that. So what I'm doing is, or not pulling me up, but rather, what if the shoulder was the thing that was contracted and held in place while the other side was moving? I guess is the point I'm trying to make. But not, how do I phrase this? So usually when I do the movement where I'm holding one kettlebell, it's like the weight's pulling me down and it's like a core compensation and I'm pressing a weight up. Here I'm going to be doing a pull down while the shoulder is what's holding the weight. It's still pushing me down in one way, but instead of the shoulder being the muscle that's working, the shoulder is going to be the one that's held in place. So all of that will make sense here in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold a kettlebell in rack position and do 5 pull downs this way. Then I'm going to shoulder press the weight and hold it there and do 5 more reps. And now I'm going to rotate with the weight with both arms, if that makes sense. So doing 5 of each variation and switching sides. So now the kettlebell's back in rack position on the opposite side. Now it's up. Now rotational. So yeah, training, I guess, different capacities of the muscles, of doing one motion while the other is doing another motion. Just a little variation that I thought would be, I guess, fun to throw in today. Gonna do 5 sets of this, and every once in a while I'm just kind of running up and down the field just to get my heart rate going. So for the next set of exercises, I'm gonna use the goalpost to do offset single arm assisted pull-ups. So gonna use the shirt to hold, so this is the hand that'll assist, and then I'm going to pull up towards the right hand. I'm going to go for 3, and then switch hands. This is a nice variation, I guess, to build into a single arm pull-up, or at least that's what I'm using it for. Doing a single arm pull-up is a goal of mine, and I don't do this as often as I should, but I believe as I get stronger at these, I should be able to do a one arm pull-up in time. Switching sides. After 3 each side of that, moving into a kettlebell complex of sorts. So going to do a tactical clean into a curtsy lunge for 3 reps each side. Then tactical snatch. And so with this one, it's hard to flow, at least for me, from a snatch into a curtsy lunge. So I'm doing a tactical snatch, getting into position, then doing the curtsy lunge. 3 each side of this too. And then for the final exercise of this tricep, going to do, they're called wood choppers sometimes, or you can call them cable oblique twists. I'm calling them cable wood choppers because the action mimics as if you're swinging an axe to chop wood. Going for 10. So yeah, gonna do these 3 for 5 sets and then on to something else. So for the next set of exercises, gonna do weighted pull-ups but with a mixed grip, and I'll show you what that means in a second. And I'm going to superset that with, I guess, a kettlebell flow. But let's get to that when the time comes. So yeah, using my 12 kilo, 25 pound kettlebell. So by mixed grip, I mean one hand's going to go overhand, other hand's going to go underhand. And I'm going to do 4 reps. Switching sides. Then after that, I'm going to do a short kettlebell flow. So I'm going to go from swing squat, figure eight, swing squat, figure eight, 5 each side. Really involves the obliques and core quite a bit while doing that, and also getting a nice amount of legs. I'm gonna do this for 4 to 5 sets, and yeah, then gonna keep going with something else. So with alternating sets, I'm switching the side I'm on. So if you guys noticed in the previous clip, the bar on the back side is flat and on the front side is curved, and so I'm alternating sides with each set as well, so that I can get an even distribution of that variation, if that makes sense. So here it's curved, and the way the overhand feels is much different than on the other side. Switching sides. And straight into the complex. So yeah, I just wanted to show that difference that takes place on either side. So earlier in the video, I had done this exercise where I hold on to the kettlebell in a certain way and do a shoulder press, or hold on to the kettlebell and do a lat pull down. And kind of working with that concept, I came up with another variation to where I'll be holding the cable in position while performing the movement with the kettlebell. I'm gonna do a couple of variations of that. But yeah, in any case, before I do that, I wanted to speak about the necessity to leave some room for play or for experimentation, or both. Play and experimentation can be different. The point I'm trying to make is, like, working out isn't always endeavor that makes you happy, or in the sense that you're not looking forward to it. Like, you might look forward to a party or meeting friends or something, but a workout isn't always something that you look forward to. And as time goes on and things get monotonous, it can become even more so of a chore. by allowing myself to experiment and to be playful at the gym, even though the gym can be somewhat of a chore sometimes, or working out can be somewhat of a chore. Uh, Allowing myself to be creative and playful uh, keeps things interesting and gives me things to look forward to. So, you know, uh, I find that fitness culture revolves a lot around being correct. Like, oh, the best way to lose weight is to do this much amount of cardio and this much amount of lifting and eat this much. And if you don't follow my method, you're wrong. If it's not the ketogenic diet, you're wrong. If it's not the carnivore diet, you're wrong. If it's not the vegan diet or whatever, you're wrong. So instead of being so tied to all these, I guess, ideologies of fitness, why not just, leave room to play around a little? Now, definitely, if you're starting off and you don't have enough experiment or enough experience in the gym, it's definitely something to be careful about with experimenting because you haven't learned the ropes yet. But I don't know, this is more so, I guess, once you're in the intermediate level or something and you're comfortable in the gym, definitely leave some room to experiment and be open-minded to other forms of fitness. It can make things a lot more bearable and enjoyable. Yeah. After that rant, the exercise that I'm planning on doing is, so I'm going to hold on to the pull down in a stationary position. So here my lats are completely engaged. I'm trying to hold the weight up and then going to shoulder press in this position. Going for 8. Switching sides. As far as the contraction itself, I don't feel like the shoulder is working too much different from a regular shoulder press. It's everything else. It's like the fact that the lats have to stay tight and there's some other stabilizers at work that makes the movement a little bit interesting. I'm also going to do one more variation of this where I'm going to pull it down in kind of a row. So just getting on my knees and bringing it back as a row and then doing shoulder presses. So with this variation, the cable wants to pull me ahead, and there's the stabilizers at work are trying to prevent that. In the other instance, the body is more so trying to prevent tilting because of an upward pull. So yeah, just going to do this for a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but there's certainly going to be something. So that was it for regular lifting. Want to do some kettlebell juggling and some sprints and stuff before I'm done. But yeah, sprints after this, because doing this after sprints is going to be hard. Not bad. Having the microphone on my glasses makes it fall down. It's just so much of a distraction trying to balance it while juggling. So as mentioned earlier, I'm going to the workout with some sprints. So I'm going to walk backwards to one end of the field and then sprint back with the weight. So yeah, that was my fourth set. I'm gonna do at least one more, maybe two. And yeah, that'll be it for today's workout. Might do some free flowing, just like moving up and down the field with no weight, just to get some natural movement in without any resistance. But yeah, that'll be it after that. So yeah, that's it for today's video. See you all tomorrow.